Sanskrit has a secret. And it starts with a single breath. Every language you have ever learned told you what things are called. Sanskrit does something different. It tells you where the sound comes from. And the place it starts, before any consonant, before any word, before any grammar, is the vowel. In Sanskrit, vowels are called
Svaras.
The word
Swara
literally translates to self-shining. To an ancient phonetician, a vowel needs absolutely nothing else to exist. It stands alone. It carries itself. Every consonant, by contrast, requires a vowel to be fully sounded. Think of it as a mechanical law. The vowel is the raw kinetic life, and the consonant is merely the physical shape that life takes. There are 16 svaras in Sanskrit.
A, I, U, Ri,
Dra, Dra,
E, I, O, Au, Ah.
They are not arranged randomly or by historical accident. They move systematically from the most open sound the human body can produce to increasingly shaped, restricted, and directed sounds. It is an explicit, step-by-step map of the human voice finding its form. If you look closely at this map, you realize the ancient grammarians weren't just creating an alphabet, they were reverse engineering human anatomy. Here is what that actually means. We begin with the pure openings. Pronounced like the short U, in but. This is the first letter of the Sanskrit alphabet, and mechanically, it is the most fundamental sound the human vocal tract can produce. The jaw drops. The throat opens. Nothing constricts the air anywhere. Modern linguists call it an open central unrounded vowel, the precise technical term for the sound that requires the absolute least amount of physiological effort to make. In the Bhagavad Gita, when Krishna states, of letters, I am the letter A, it isn't an arbitrary poetic choice. A is the structural foundation of speech, every other sound is just a modification of this initial openness. It is why the word Atman, the concept of the individual self, begins right here. In this linguistic framework, the word for self begins with the one sound that requires the self to do nothing except open. Next is the long form of A, pronounced like the A in father. The mouth stays in the exact same physical position as, but the sound is precisely sustained, held for 2 beats instead of 1. Where is an involuntary breath, is a deliberate commitment to that breath. Sanskrit distinguishes systematically between short and long vowels. The long form isn't just louder or more emphatic, it is a distinct phoneme that completely changes the definition of a word. Then, we feel a forward shift. Short I, as in
E.
Now, the anatomy shifts. The mouth narrows slightly from the open position of A. The tongue rises toward the palate, forcing the air forward. This is the structural beginning of directional sound, air that is going somewhere, rather than simply escaping an open throat. It is an interesting design feature that the word
Swara,
which translates to a ruling, directed principle of existence rather than a formless open ground, is built precisely on this forward, focused sound. Its counterpart is
E.
the long form, like the EE in C. The tongue holds its raised position against the palate. The resulting sound is sharp, clear, and penetrating. Where the A sounds expand outward in all directions, the I sounds focus energy inward and forward. Next, we move to labial precision.
U.
Short U, as in put. The physical mechanics move even further forward to the very edge of the face. The lips begin to round. The back of the mouth opens while the front constricts. This is the first labial involvement in the vowel sequence, the first time the lips actively participate in shaping the air. Mainstream linguistics view this as a simple progression, but it perfectly mirrors why the word Upanishad begins here. Meaning, sitting near, to receive direct transmission, the physical sound is produced by forcing the breath upward and through a tightly rounded, deliberate opening. This deepens into the sustained and deepened form,
U.
like the oo, in boot. The lips round completely, creating a deep resonance chamber. This is the absolute limit of the pure vowels, the point where the mouth forms its most complete circular shape. Then we encounter the anomalies.
Re.
A vowel that has no direct equivalent in English. It is a vocalic R, a rare phenomenon where the R sound itself becomes the holding vowel rather than a consonant. The tip of the tongue vibrates and curls back toward the roof of the mouth while the sound is being produced. Sanskrit is one of the very few languages in history to treat this position as a full vowel. When the ancient texts talk about Rita, the cosmic, underlying law that governs structural order, they chose a root sound that literally forces the physical tongue into perfect structural alignment with the roof of the mouth. Its sustained partner is
Re.
the long form of
Re.
the same complex retroflex position, held for twice the duration. These two sounds are so phonetically unique that almost every modern language descended from Sanskrit has completely lost them over time. Even rarer is
Dra.
another vowel completely missing from English, a vocalic L. The tongue touches the teeth ridge, holding steady while the sound is forced to escape purely around the sides of the mouth.
Dra.
This, along with its long counterpart,
Dra.
are the rarest mechanical operations in the entire Sanskrit system, appearing in only a handful of ancient words. Now we enter the combinations, or diphthongs.
A.
Pronounced like the long AY, in play. Ancient phoneticians classified this not as a simple sound, but as a mechanical combination of A and I, produced in a single, continuous stream. The mouth opens at the throat with A and seamlessly glides up to the palate with I. The word
Eka.
meaning one or undivided, starts here. The sound literally binds two different areas of the vocal tract into a single motion. This widens into
I.
pronounced like the long AI in stare. A wider combination, blending a long A with I. The physical movement requires a much broader initial opening before the forward-focusing movement takes over, as seen in complex terms like
Iravata.
Then comes the acoustic glide of
O.
pronounced like the long O in go. This is a compound vowel combining A and U. The mouth opens at the throat and rounds forward at the lips. When ancient grammarians analyzed the sacred syllable OM, they noted that it maps three distinct physical positions: A, opening at the throat; U, rounding through the lips; and M, closing the lips. The vowel is unique because it already executes two of those three physical movements in one sustained note. Its broader variation is
Au.
pronounced like the ow in how. The wider form of combining a long A with U. It demands the broadest possible initial opening before snapping into a forward round. It is the phonetic origin of
Ausadha.
the ancient word for medicine or a healing herb. Finally, we close with the exhales. The
Anuswar.
It is a pure nasal resonance following a vowel, produced entirely within the nasal cavity without the lips or tongue closing. In phonetic practice, this is the exact moment the sound completely leaves the mouth and turns into a purely internal, physical vibration inside the skull. And completing the sequence is the
Visarga.
pronounced as a soft, aspirated H sound at the very end of a syllable. The visarga is literally the sound of a breath completing itself, the unvoiced exhale that follows a sound. In ancient texts, this mechanical release of air systematically marks the end of a phrase, a breath, or a complete unit of meaning. These 16 sounds form the entire vowel matrix of Sanskrit. What makes them remarkable isn't just the individual sounds themselves, but their flawless mathematical arrangement. They move systematically from the back of the throat to the front of the lips, from simple to complex, from open air to localized resonance. The ancient grammarians who organized them weren't working from cultural convention or mysticism. They were mapping the physical mechanics of the human body with the exact same systematic observation that modern acoustic phoneticians use today. Panini, working around 400 BCE, documented these exact laws with a mathematical precision that was not matched in Western linguistics until the 19th century. His Shiva Sutras, the foundational matrix of Sanskrit phonology, arranged these sounds in a specific processing order that modern computer science and acoustic analysis have confirmed to reflect genuine, objective phonetic relationships. He did not invent this system. He simply listened carefully enough to write the physics down. But this phonetic matrix is only the baseline. Because the sounds are so mathematically precise, the entire language functions like a data compression engine. Sanskrit is engineered in such a way that massive amounts of meaning can be condensed into incredibly short strings of text. Take a word like
Sabvyasachin.
in English, it takes an entire sentence to justify. It means a warrior who can shoot arrows with absolute, deadly precision using both hands equally. In Sanskrit, it is a single, compact word. This is part 1 of the Sanskrit Varnamala. In part 2, we move past the raw breath and enter the world of consonants, where these open sounds hit physical walls, stopping points, and articulation zones within the body. And where the engineering becomes even more precise. 1 dot. 1 breath. 1 key.